What's up, guys? It's episode 392. Welcome back to the show.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey, what's up? It's Jacqueline. Welcome back to the show. Hi. Welcome. I have a great show for you today. We're going to get raunchy. It's going to get raunchy today. I'm forewarning you right now. It's going to be raunchy. All right. So on the top of the list here, we've got life updates, Grammys next. Specifically, Bianca. We're gonna talk about Bianca and Kanye. We're gonna do a live sourdough taste test, and we're gonna ask the sourdough. We're gonna ask the sourdough gods together what went wrong, because I need help. So I'm coming to the internet today. We're gonna do a live taste test of my 2 sourdough loaves I made, and we're gonna figure it out together because I need help. I'm desperate. I thought I was good at baking, but I was humbled once again last night when I made my second sourdough loaf. And yeah, I just want to eat it on camera, to be honest, as like a thing for you. So we're going to do that. Okay. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know how interested you are in this still. I feel like we've milked the cow dry at this point. We're going to talk about the fucking Justin Baldoni website. What's it called? Like Blake Lively's a cunt.com. It's like, what is it called? It's like legal. It's like something about law. I don't know. Like it ends with the law. I looked it up. Whatever. We're gonna go over his website a little bit, and I threw in a little. What do you call this? A little dessert at the, what is this episode? Okay. I threw in a little like, hey, maybe she will, maybe she won't. January faves segment. I just want to have fun today. I really just want to have fun. I remember when I used to do like show and tells on here. I would bring stuff on camera. I would bring out, my favorite things. I had at one point I had like my Bounty paper towels on set that I was talking about from Costco. Like I had a pack of those behind me. Like, I don't know. We live in a 24/7 breaking news cycle. And as a podcast host, I can't keep up. And I sometimes just don't want to keep up, and I don't care. And like today's kind of one of those days. We're just going to have fun. Like I said, it might get a little raunchy. I don't know how far I'm going to take it here. But I am drinking an Alani. Let's set the scene. I'm drinking an Alani. I separated the can from the glass here on purpose because I'm trying to not overdo it. So if I see that I only have, I need to like put the can away. I'm just trying to like drink a half an Alani. I'm trying to drink a half of an Alani. Period. I did see at Target that they have mini Alanis now, like the half can, or it's like half the size. So it's probably got 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. So anyways, I did take a spin. I'm setting the scene. That's in the life update section. I did take a spin class though. We'll get into that. Pink hoodie, Willy Wonka glasses. If you know, you know, like the best episodes I've ever recorded were with these on. So we're going to bring them back today. What's going on? Hair blown out, glam on. I said I wasn't going to glam. I glammed today. Okay. Let's get into the life updates. Is that the scene I just said? What else is happening? I might bring Jimmy on set today, my golden retriever, for fun. Again, like I just want to have fun. Like sometimes I'm like, dude, you don't need to talk about like all the heavy shit all the time. Like all the like drama and all the, like this has become a drama channel. This has become a pop culture reality recap channel. And I'm like, dude, it's the Jacqueline Monroe show. Sometimes I don't care. And I don't want to talk about everything that's hot right now. Including, are there fires still happening? Okay, this is it's getting dry. Let me get into the life updates. So it's currently 11:13 a.m. as I'm recording this on February 5th. I want to put that at the top here of the life updates because I purposely took a spin class this morning at 6 a.m. so that I don't start recording at 11 a.m. Okay. I need to figure this out. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called I don't think it's time blindness. It's like time anxiety. All of a sudden, and this has happened, it's picked up over the last couple of years, and I sort of mentioned this. I don't want to keep alluding to last week I talked about it because I always talk about the same shit every week sometimes, but over the last year or two or three, I don't know, the older I get, the more anxious I get about time and there's not enough time in a day to do what I want to do. And I constantly feel overwhelmed if I don't just hit the ground running at 8 a.m. Lips on the mic, doing this thing. I get so, or whatever, if I'm not having a recording day, any other work I have to do, I get so anxious and I'm like, okay, so I need to work out earlier. And then I do that. And then somehow I'm recording at 11 a.m. and I'm pissed off. So that's how we're starting the episode off with a complaint. I'm trying to just be more chill about it all. But I have so much, it's the whole, and I think I'm going to go in. You guys all know this. I'm getting tested. I'm going to figure out if I have ADHD for real. I'm actually going to go do the whole psychological shit with this psychologist, the exam or whatever. It's 7 hours long. I'm going to go do it just because I'm noticing things about myself and patterns over the years. And it's hey, it's just information. And I think one of the things for me that's really annoying is the constant feeling of overwhelm about so much to do, so little time. And I don't think, I know I'm thinking about it irrationally and I need to fucking chill. I need to chill. They're probably going to put me on lorazepam. What the fuck is lorazepam? They're going to put me on Zoloft or I don't know. I'm already on Prozac. I don't know if I can combine. Maybe they'll switch me off of that. Fuck. I don't know. But I get it's 11 a.m. Oh my God, the day's over. Literally, if I don't finish my work by noon, I'm fuck me. Cause I know, you guys all know, 2 to 5 p.m., I'm out. I'm useless. I do stuff, but I'm mentally useless at 2 p.m., 2 to 5. That's sad. That's sad. But I know myself. I'm aware of how, when I function my best, and that is early in the morning. That's why I like to work out really early and then get shit done starting at 8. Okay, cool. So yeah, I went to spin class this morning again. It's kind of my new thing on my recording days, and I like it. It's fun. It's a good vibe. There's really nice people there. And yeah, so I did spin class. I have nothing negative to say today about it, only positive things. We will not be fat shaming today. We will not be judging people. We won't be. Spin class was great. That's all I'm going to say. I'm trying to think if were there any highlights of spin class. I feel yeah, I'm getting the beat down better. I'm not doing the push-ups or the arm stuff because I tweaked a tit last week. I don't know. Something hurt after the class. So I got to keep the arms from flaying too much. Okay. Next life update is this. Sometimes as I'm recording and this is one of those episodes, I'm calling it right now. And I kind of have let me just put this out there. You guys always think Jacqueline's always laughing and smiling and happy on the show. She looks like she's always having a good time. Yes. And I also have bad days when I record. And today I'm just going to put it out there is one of those days. Am I going to get into why? No, I kind of have what's the vibe? Kind of a heavy heart. Nothing is wrong with my marriage. I'm just having I feel, am I going to talk about my period? Fuck. I am on my period. Okay. I am. Fuck. I hate when women talk about they always, I just fuck it. Women do whatever you want. Talk about your period. Talk about bleeding out. Talk about your menstrual cycle. Talk about your PMMDD. Talk about your PMS. Talk about your diva cup. I don't fuck that's how it should be. I don't. What is the motto this year? We don't give up. Okay, so yes, I'm on my period. And I think it's like heaviness is happening. I've been really reflective lately. And like, I don't know. I'm kind of coming out of the winter blues and I'm excited about spring, but I'm also like in reflection time with myself. So like, it's one of those days. I went to the dermatologist. Let's move forward. Hold on. I cannot believe it took me this long to get my ass to the dermatologist for my perioral dermatitis, but I finally did. And I'm getting on the doxy. Okay. Another medication I'll be taking combining with my Prozac is fucking doxy. I show up and she's like, immediately, she's like, this is the thing. All the dermatologists right now, they know what's up. They're like, something happened over COVID. Maybe it was the shot. Maybe it was whatever was in the air at the time. Maybe it was the working from home. But like all of a sudden, they're seeing hundreds of thousands of women walk into their office with perioral dermatitis. And they like know when it's like she saw me walking down the hallway and she immediately looks at me and she goes, she's like, I know you have perioral dermatitis. Like immediately that was the first thing she told me. She's like, have you ever tried Doxy? Have you heard of Doxy? And I'm like, what's Doxy? And she's like, it's the oral medication you have to take to get rid of it. Cause like literally nothing cures it except, a hope, a dream, a wish, a prayer that meditation. I don't know. You like no amount of castor oil at this point, no amount of azelaic acid, no amount of sulfur cream, no amount of Ethiclar, no amount of Exericalm, no amount of not wearing any makeup, not using any actives, not touching my face is doing it. So she's like, have you heard of Doxy? So she prescribed me Doxy. I'm officially getting rid of my perioral dermatitis. Now, the issue with the Doxy is it was sent to my pharmacy. Okay. Now this was my day. This is, again, we're in the life update segment. We're going to get to the fun stuff in a bit. Just like stay with me right now. I think, if I had to pick a favorite time of the podcast, like a favorite segment, it's the life updates. It's when I'm telling you all about what's going on. And it's fun to talk about because hi, it's my show. I like talking about myself. I could give two fucks about Kanye and Bianca, but like, I got to talk about it. Like it is a lot. And same with like plane crashes and same with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Like but that shit's all for the algorithm. Okay. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. So I have to like talk about the current events like in the episode at some point. It's for the algorithm. It's so I can get picked up so more people find the show, right? They don't give a fuck about, last week's episode was swearing too much. I'm already doing it again this week. Okay. They don't care about like my perioral dermatitis. Like, come on. I know that's relatable though, because so many women, like everyone I know has perioral dermatitis. Anyways, the Doxy was sent to my CVS pharmacy. I get a notification like, hey, your Doxy's ready. However, you need to go and like confirm something. So whatever. I show up to CVS. This is a boring story. Basically, CVS, first of all, the CVS pharmacy, the CVS store, I always feel bad for the workers there. Like I always, like whenever I walk back to the pharmacy and I hear the elevator music and I see them and it's just like chaos. There's prescriptions everywhere. There's paperwork. There's just shitty everything. Everything's just like, for me, it's just so overstimulating just being around that, like as a customer, but like to work in that all day, I'm like, it's a great job. My grandma wanted me to be a pharmacist. She said every family needs a dentist or something and a pharmacist. And, I ended up being a podcast host. I don't know how. I think she listens to my episodes sometimes. And I have heard that she tally marks my F words, or she has in the past. So I'm going to really work on that. That's like my shtick. That's like what I'd put on merch. I'm swearing too much. Like, I don't fucking know. I overuse that button too. Okay. Yeah, I get depressed when I go to CVS. I have to go there for my prescriptions, whatever. But I show up and then she's like, it's not ready. Come back in 15 minutes. So then I'm like, okay, it said it was ready, but like there was a thing. And then I don't know, whatever. I had to like go back in 15 minutes. So I went to Sprouts. I got my bread flour because I was going to bake sourdough the next day. So I went into Sprouts and got that. And then I was like, okay, we need candles. So I'm going to Home Goods. So this is me killing time before I pick up my Doxy, right? For my perioral dermatitis. So I go into Sprouts. Oh, fuck. I had a situation with my laxative tea at Sprouts. Fuck. But I know she was a girl's girl. I know she knows that, like, I know she looked like the kind of girl that drinks Smooth Move. So I was like, okay, it's not that embarrassing. Thank God it wasn't like a mail checker. But I picked up bread flour for my sourdough. I picked up a couple like protein snacks just to have on hand, and Smooth Move, laxative tea. Now I am taking a GLP-1 medication. As someone who, am I going to do the spiel? No, we're not. That's all I'm going to say. I'm on a GLP-1, okay? And I'm constipated regularly, okay? It sucks. And no amount of water, no amount of caffeine. It just, you got to like drink your tea, right? So anyways, I get the tea, I get the bread flour. I waddle my ass to that self-checkout because I'm not letting a host scan the laxative tea. Okay. Never. The only time I buy laxative tea and get it checked out in front of, I have to be with Corey. Like I have to have someone with me because I'm like, well, then they're calculating, is it for him or is it for her? They're probably always thinking it's for the chick. Cause like, that's like such a bitch thing, like a chick thing to do is to drink fucking laxative, anything, Dulcolax, Duramax, Duralax. Oh my God, what's the milk of magnesia? I used to buy that shit in college when I would when I would try to go out on the weekends, and not try to go out, when my pre-going out routine was like, drink milk of magnesia, shit your brains out so you're skinny this weekend when you go and fuck the football players. So I went to that self-checkout and it didn't work. Like the scanner didn't work, and it's like shaking my, okay. I like scan my protein bars, I scan my bread flour, and then it's time to scan the Smooth Move. And it turned red, like the scanner thing. And I'm like, shit. And I like was kind of sitting there like, fuck, she's going to come over and scan her card and do the little thing. I did turn it over, so like it didn't expose the label Smooth Move, but I feel like she saw it and I was in, but the thing is I was thinking I'm embarrassed. But the thing about embarrassment is no one can embarrass you if you don't let them, or you don't have to be embarrassed. You get to choose to not be embarrassed. Anytime you feel embarrassed, you're letting other people make you feel embarrassed. So just choose to not be. So as I'm standing there, I don't know, I was so in my head about it, and it took 2 seconds. She scanned her thing. She scanned the tea and was like in the bag already. And it was like, bada boom, bada bing. I don't know. She probably saw Smooth. I don't know. Maybe she didn't even know what it was. Whatever. So then I went back for the Doxy. Okay. No, I went to Home Goods. I did go to Home Goods. Oh, something happened to Home Goods. So as you know, as a new homeowner, we're doing home improvement projects around the house. We're constantly decorating. We're constantly updating the tchotchkes and the organization and the fucking everything, right? Like I recently put up a gallery wall, and I did use ChatGPT for those measurements, and my God, it took me like 1/16 the time it would have taken me if I had to figure out the measurements and the separation between the frames for the gallery wall. So we're doing gallery walls. We're redoing the backyard. We've got landscapers coming by all the time. Oh, we got our sprinkler system installed. And let me tell you something about Corey. That man loves his lawn. He loves his shrubs. He loves his lavender. He loves his boxwood. He loves his rose. I mean, I'm officially at the point in my life where I am married. Obviously, holy fuck, I own a home. And my man loves his lawn. Like the cliche of like the dad watering the lawn. I don't know. Like I have that. I'm witnessing that. He goes out there every day and he watches the lawn grow, and he loves tending to the lawn, and it's like so sweet. And I'm like, where's Corey? Oh, he's probably turning the sprinklers on and watching it sprinkle all over the grass. Like it makes my heart swell. Like, I don't know what that is, but like, it is so endearing and sweet. And like, I think I find everything obviously about him like amazing, but like the other morning, oh my God, he couldn't sleep. He woke up really early, and then I come out and there's like a newspaper and coffee, and it smells like coffee in the kitchen. And I'm like, oh my God, he was up all night with the dogs. He couldn't sleep, reading the newspaper, drinking coffee. Oh. I took a picture of it. I was like, that's so sweet. And then I bought him this Tiger Woods, like old school book at the Goodwill. It's like Tiger Woods' teachings of golf, whatever. It's like a really good golf book, by the way. Highly recommend. I don't know if your Goodwill will have it. I don't know where you can find it, but my Goodwill had it for $3.99, and I picked it up. I brought it home, gave it to Corey. And the other day I was, clean the house, whatever. It was like a Sunday chill day. Last week was weird because of no football. Like, that was not fun. I felt so discombobulated like on Sunday, but he came in, and maybe I was editing. I think I was editing something for the podcast, but he's like, hey honey, I'm going to go practice chipping. I'm going to go hit some balls. I was like, cool. Okay. Then I go to the kitchen. I was just like, this is like the dumbest. I don't care. I'm gushing. I love my husband. I'm gushing. Just stay with me. So then, like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, I go into the kitchen, and I notice on the table, the Tiger Woods golf book opened to the chipping page. And I was like, he got inspired. He read the book. He saw the book, and he's going to go, like, he got a little like inspo from that. Probably. He loves Tiger. Rest in peace to his mother, by the way. That is so sad. Tiger, like, not life update, but like news update, golf news update. Tiger Woods' mom died. So sad. Anyways, so I just like see stuff, like little things, and it's just so sweet to me, and it makes my heart swell. And so, yeah, we got the sprinklers installed. What am I saying? I had to go to Home Goods, right? We always get back on the rails. Something happened at Home Goods. Isn't that amazing? Like that, when I was talking to my psychiatrist, I said, that scares me. Whatever that is, I know it's my strength. I know it's a skill because I'm a good podcast host, a solo podcast host who can always like refer back to the topic she was talking about, even if I get off 15 tangents. But like when that happens, like it's divine. I'm like, what is that? Like, I feel like Michael Jordan, like dunking. I don't know. It's like, hey, no one saw that coming. Okay. So something happened to Home Goods. Okay. I had to kill time because I'm trying to get the doxy, right? At the pharmacy at CVS for my perioral dermatitis. But I had to get my sprout stuff. We had the laxative tea situation at the checkout counter or the self-checkout. I go into Home Goods, and something happened. And it's like, this is what, anytime I go to Home Goods, like I go in there for one thing, and obviously I like pick a million other things up, but I was like, it hit me. I was like, you know, when you see something every single day in your home and you don't like it, but you don't do anything, like you do nothing about it. Like you literally just see it every day. You're like, I hate how this looks. It drives me nuts, but you don't do anything about it. So I was in Home Goods. I got the candles, and I'm like, hats. Oh my God, the fucking hats. I'm like, oh, like we need a hat box. That's what I'm actually here for. Like this trip to Home Goods right now is for a hat basket or hat box, some sort of storage for Corey's hats. Because, you know, men wear hats. They have a million hats. They're always setting them down. Like he literally sticks them on top of the fireplace in our bedroom. And it's like, it doesn't, and I see it every night, and I'm like, that should be a candle. That should be a tchotchke. That should be cleaned off. Like that should not have a men's hat stack on it. But yet we've lived here a year now, and I'm pretty sure that's been the hat spot the entire time. Like, and I see it and I don't do anything about it, right? So I finally figured out, I'm like, okay, I need a basket. So I'm running around the basket aisles, just like trying to find the perfect basket. And then I found it. We have a hat basket now. It ended up fitting in this little, like, I was going to set it next to the fireplace all cute, but I actually like, it perfectly fit in this built-in like bench thing we have under the fireplace, and it like slides in nicely. That's not going to be great for his back. He wears a lot of hats, right? He wears them pretty daily. And so I'm like, wait, he's going to have to bend over to get that every day. I don't know if we both heard, oh my God, life update on another tangent. We both blew our backs out. Literally, we're synced up. Our back pain is synced up as a married couple. It is so fucking crazy. Like we we go to the gym and he's like, I'm like, first of all, like just sauna, like stretch, like don't do anything crazy. And so that's what he did. And like he like tweaked his back really bad. And then I'm doing a hip thrust set and I blew my back out. And I'm just like, of course. It's low back, right? Like I just like something tweaked. And so I did get a comment about my hair. Let's go to the next life update. I did get a comment. Oh, before we got to finish the doxy. I go back to the pharmacy. I stand in line for 30 minutes. You know, when you're like, why did I just waste all this time? Like the line was way too long. It was rush hour at the CVS pharmacy line, right? Like it was that time of day. Everyone's there. Everyone's getting their prescriptions. And there was like coughing kids. Everyone in line, I swear, like half the line had influenza A. I was like, I am not getting sick for a third time in a month and a half. Like I am not doing that. So I was just annoyed. I didn't have headphones in. I was actually, I had them in my pocket, but I was like, I'm going to practice being present. I'm going to practice letting this elevator music at the CVS pharmacy irritate me. I'm going to practice meditation, breath work, looking around, reading all the signs about the flu and the medication options. And there was a paternity test I clocked at the bottom of the shelf there. I was like, oh, that's where you can buy a paternity test. And like, you know, I'm just noticing things. I'm trying to like I'm trying to transport myself. I literally stood there and I'm like, F my phone, F the headphones, F a podcast right now, F a TikTok scroll. I want to feel like I'm in 1996 and it was hell. Okay. Our phones are so sick. Like, why do we fight it? Like, why do we fight phone addiction? They are so awesome. And you only realize that when you're standing in the CVS pharmacy line for 30 minutes with coughing kids and old people who smell. I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. Like you realize how that hit of a doom scroll, how awesome that is, and how like blessed we are to have that as a escape from the hell of the CVS pharmacy line. So I'm in this. Oh my God. So yeah, it was one of those things where why am I here? I'm taking way too much time, like waiting. I should just leave. I can pick this up tomorrow. And long story short, that's what I ended up having to do because I get to the front of the pharmacy line and she's like, actually, you're going to have to wait until our pharmacist gets on her shift in an hour and a half or something. Like, so I went all the way through that line with the coughing kids and the silence. That was my 30 minute meditation practice. I told myself like this was good probably for me to like do that, but never again. And yeah, again, with like the time anxiety, that spiraled me so much because I had a million things to do that weren't picking up a prescription. And I'm like, well, fuck me. How do you guys, okay, this is my question for the audience. How do you chill the fuck out? How do you chill the fuck out about so much to do, so little time? How do you meditate? Do you do yoga? I do yoga. Okay. How do you like, is this just what it is to be an adult with a busy schedule and like a life and like a lot going on all the time? Like, is this, I don't know. Like I didn't used to be this way. I did not used to be this way. And that's what's weird. It's like, it's like as a woman, you turn, I feel like this started happening when I was like 28, 29, like late 20s. And it's like, I never had anxiety. I never was a freak outer. I wasn't like, I only kind of like get this way though when I podcast because I like turn it on for I exaggerate everything for like, what do you call it? Emphasis or like to pack a punch, you know, for the audience. And I'm like, I feel like getting on the mic definitely brings out the complaining, like bitching, moaning, crying side of me. That's like, yes, it's there, but like, is it really this bad? Or do I make it sound bad for your ears? And is that healthy? And is that a good way to Is that good for your audience to listen to you do that? Probably not. But do you get what I mean? Like, okay. So anyways, do you just function normally where you're like, yeah, I have 4 things to do today on my list and I'm just going to do them and everything's good. And if I didn't get one of them done, then I'll do it tomorrow. And are you calm about that? I overcrowd my plate. I think that's what it is. I have high expectations of like my abilities every single day and then I don't meet them. And then I get sad about it or anxious about it and then I spiral. And so, yeah, when I left the CVS line with no prescription of Doxy for my perioral dermatitis and I had wasted, I don't know, I probably was in town for 2 hours. That was way too long I also had to, did I get a car wash? I don't know. I was gone for too long and so yeah, I spiraled after I went home and I was like, the day's over. I got nothing done. So, something that has been helping me though, in that department of like feeling content or feeling like satisfied with my work and like what I do in a day, something that I've been doing. And I think it helps Corey too. Like I will literally write every single task I did in a day on our whiteboard we have. Like some days I'll do this like once a week, maybe if that. And it helps me go like, okay, you did do 42 things. It feels like I did 4, but you actually did 42. Look at all this amazing stuff you did. Like this, you actually got a lot done. But what is the thing? Question for the audience. How do you chill out and not worry about everything? Okay. How do you not be like me? And then how do you feel satisfied about like your to-do list? Like, do you ever, if you're someone out there who actually feels satisfied when you end your day, satisfied about what you got done, when you end your day, how does that feel? And what goes through your mind? Like, I never end a day and I go, wow, I feel so proud of myself. I got so much done. And I want to be that when it's not like, I am proud. Okay. Yes, I'm proud. Is this going to be the whole like mental health spiral section in the middle? Like we haven't even talked about like anything yet. Jesus Christ. Like I am proud of myself. I know I work hard, but what's this like never enough gene I have in my brain? What is that? Cause it's debilitating sometimes. It's like, nothing's ever good enough that I do. Okay, I just took a breather because that was getting way too dramatic. And I want to talk about hair extensions in my hair right now instead because someone asked me a question. Everyone wants to know. Like I actually get questions like that. Hi, I am an influencer, ? I'm a podcast host. I post videos on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And the girls want to know, do I have extensions? I did get a comment asking if I have hair extensions. Now, I don't, okay? I don't have hair extensions. And the thing about, I've never understood this. By the way, I have a lot of empathy and because I see it more and more, like certain people I follow, I'm like, damn, they actually have like really fine, like thin hair. They don't have a lot of hair and they can't help that. And I like see the bald spot in their ponytail or whatever. Like I see like, and I'm like, damn, like that's a real thing. Like a lot of women struggle with that. And so I do have a heart about that. Like, but something that's been like, so I'm not a total asshole when I say this, but like one thing like for all of time, I've never understood is when girls are like, I'm trying to grow my hair out. I'm trying to grow my hair out. I want long hair. I want long hair. And I'm like, what I don't understand. So the question was, do you have hair extensions? My answer is no, I don't. Why don't I have hair extensions? Why is my hair this long? I don't cut it. Like, that's the answer. I'm like, what's my tip? What's my like long hair tip? Don't cut your hair. Like have the wherewithal. I don't know. Like just be more like, you don't need a trim. You don't need a clean up chop. Never. Just let those split ends fly, bitch. Let that hair go because what's happening as of late is it happens whenever I did get a slight chop about a year and a half ago. It was like, I don't know, to here. It was like an inch or two below my collarbone ish. Like it was whatever. And it's been like growing and I haven't cut it. I maybe had 2 trims since then. But what happens is like once it passes my nipple, yes, I'm going to refer to my tits right now and it's for entertainment value. Okay. there's something that happens with my hair, and I think it's all energy, right? Like with the body and with like cells and stuff. But like there is something, and think about it, like you nurse a baby on your tits. Like the milk of life comes out of your breast. And so what I believe is happening and why my hair is so long is as my hair, once it touches the nipple, once your hair length is nipple length, it's absorbing the invisible nutrients seeping out of your tit. And so then now all of a sudden the last like month or two, like once it touched the nipple, it's going, it's really taking off. Like, am I hair oiling and doing scalp treatments and really massaging my hair all the time? And like yes. Is that the reason why my hair is growing as long as it is now? No, it's the nips. Okay. They're feeding the hair follicles from the bottom and that is making them grow longer. I don't fucking know. Okay. Just don't cut your hair. That's the thing. Just don't cut your hair. But the energetic symbiotic relationship between the split ends and the nips, there's something to it. And I don't know if that's been studied in the hair care community, but it needs to be, because that's my theory. And I've never heard anyone talk about it. So do I have hair extensions? No. Life update. 2 more plane crashes. I don't think we've talked about them at all on the show because I personally I can't do it. I'm a mess. Okay. I'm a flight anxiety stress ball mess. I have a flight in a couple weeks to Washington. Will I be getting plastered at 8 a.m. after I go through TSA? Yes. Am I going to be borderline like she needs a stretcher when I enter the plane in 2 weeks when I go to Washington? Yes. Okay. I fucking can't with these planes. I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege as a person who is 2 feet on the ground, who did not just die in a plane crash or drown at the bottom of the Potomac. How sad, like, yes. And right. Like we're going to do that the whole episode. Yes. And I have a heart. I'm not a piece of shit. Like I feel horrible for these poor people. And there was just like a press conference or something. And apparently the pilots, and this is the DC crash, the helicopter, American Airlines, apparently at the last like second, the pilots were increasing their altitude. And then you hear like a collision. So they I guess saw the helicopter coming potentially and tried to like get out of that at the very last second, which talk about, they were heroes to the end, right? Like, fuck. I want to talk about it, but like I can't because I honestly keep getting dark intrusive thoughts. Okay. It happened last night. I was up all night tossing and turning and I get really aggressive. Like, but as I fall asleep, I'm thinking about, okay, the Black Hawk hit the plane. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to talk you through intrusive thoughts, which are I feel like they're not talked about enough. Like dark thoughts, dark intrusive thoughts, like random, like what the fuck was that? Like I'm a good person. Why did I just imagine like, I'm just saying like stuff happens to my brain where I'm like, that is crazy. It's the whole, like you're driving down the freeway and it's like, what if I just went, people, that's like the cliche one. But anyways, it's the whole like, okay, the intrusive thoughts, the dark thoughts I've been having. I still get them, by the way, really hardcore about the Idaho murder case. Oh my God. I probably have that thought about getting stabbed in my sleep once a month. Okay. That trial, by the way, I'm like loosely following it, but I feel like I could do an entire episode like on that. That's like a good true crime. Well, it sucks. Like such a fucked up situation. Sorry, grandma. But anyways, my intrusive thoughts about the DC plane is that I'm like, okay, so the plane gets hit from the side by the Black Hawk helicopter, and the people in the immediate vicinity are death on impact. I'm assuming like that's a fast death. Like it's an explosion, like a bomb, fireballs shooting down the cabin. Maybe I'm assuming shrapnel, like stuff, blunt trauma to the head by the back seat of, I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know, just like stuff hitting the brain and you're knocked out and you're dead. Okay, I understand that. But like, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm like, the people in the back of the plane, like people that weren't immediately impacted by the collision of the Black Hawk. I'm like, do you just fall into the river and you're just like upside down drowning? Because I guess it was found upside down. I think it was. And then you're like, so I've been thinking, like I literally fall asleep, like imagining being a damn kids. There's way too many fucking kids on that plane. Like, I can't. I hate talking about it. You know what's even weirder? Oh my God, we just rewatched Leave the World Behind. Guess what happens in that movie? This was the Julia Roberts produced by Michelle and Barack Obama movie that we all talked about like a year ago. Great movie when she does that like dance. Everyone like remembers that like Karen dance or like white lady dance she did. It was like it was honestly a really great rewatch. Like that movie was good the first time, but it was a good rewatch. But what happens in that movie? Just planes plummeting, just falling, just out of the sky. The grid goes down. It's like all these planes start crashing. I'm like, was that foreshadowing? What is going on? Like, you wonder. I did say like early December, I recall like being on the freeway with Corey driving. We're like going golfing or something. I don't know. And I just remember like saying, or I don't know if I thought this, I forget if I said it or thought it, but I had like a conscious thought of like, oh, there haven't been any plane crashes in a while. What happens? January 1st, 2025, like basically the fucking start of the year. It's just like they keep, yeah. So speaking of plane crashes, I listened to Two Bears with Travis Barker. I'm not like a huge Travis Barker fan, or I don't know much about him, but like, first of all, he's a literal angel. Like he was just so lovely. Like, God, just like a good soul, you know, like that was my impression, right? He was talking about the plane crash he was in and how he like his fight or flight kicked in and he like jumped out of the plane as fast as he could, but then he like jumped directly into the oil, the fuel oil, the tanker fuel. What did he say? Call it the jet fuel, and that's how he got all of his bad burns. I'm assuming, like, but so sad and crazy, and like he said he got sober in the burn facility. So yeah, I was like, yeah, just a crazy. I forgot. I think that happened a long time ago now. It's been like over, I think, 10 years. But so yeah, I listened to that. This is like part of the life updates, guys. I rediscovered Kalani. I don't know if I can play this because I'm like, it's so close to the like copyright version or like the Spotify, Apple, like iTunes version, because her voice is so good live that I'm like, is it going to pick up and give me a, hey bitch, you're demonetized, or hey, you can't, like a little like, no. But anyways, I rediscovered Kalani. I'm just going to play it. Fuck it. Okay. We're just going to do it kind of quiet to start. She is so good live.
Trying to do it over, bring it back, you rewind it. But all that glitters isn't gold, I was blinded. Should've never give you my heart on consignment. And I can't believe the lies that I went for. Thought you was mine, but you decided to be with him, no. You took my feelings and just threw them out the window. Felt like it's too hard to fall in love again, no. I've been
I don't know. I just love this song. Sorry. Let me just shut this shit off. So yeah, I like rediscovered Kalani recently. I was like, wait, I used to love her in like 2018. And so that was a rediscovery. And then Cat Williams was on. I just love, we're going to wrap the life updates with this TikTok of Cat Williams on, I think he was on Theo Von's podcast. But sometimes you like see a clip and you're like, I'm doing the right things. Like, okay, like keep paving the way forward for yourself. Like, don't question your path, the path you're on. Like, just keep it moving. And this clip really did that for me. So let's play it.
If you can list the fucked up things that have happened in your life and you can put that on a list and you somehow made it past all of this to be in a position where you can still go make some stuff happen, that's what you have in common with every hero of every story, of every autobiography, of every... Wow. Is how much happened to you that should have broke you, that did not break you, so that you were able to then fucking ride. Amen.
Fucking ride. Amen. Yeah, when I saw that clip, I was like, I do have a list. I do have a long list. And that's why this podcast works. That's what makes for a good show for you guys. Like the fact that I have a laundry list, fucked up things, like he said, that happened to me. I'm still going, and I've still been able to make something happen for myself. I still keep it moving. Like that's the whole hero's journey thing. Like it's crazy because I don't really deep dive into all the, in his words, fucked up shit that has happened to me in my life. Like, but there's a lot. And I only know that because, well, you only realize that when you're around other people that don't have a lot of shit. They didn't go through a lot. It makes you realize like, yeah, you got a lot of stuff to, and it's not like it stays with me every day and I'm always thinking about it, but like, there's a few things, by the way, that I don't think I'm quite ready to like dive into and like talk about here yet with you, but it's crazy because it's like this is the subject I'm talking about only really occurs to you once you start really getting off on your own as an adult, settling down, like getting married, buying a home, like turning like it's like when you turn 30. These are it's like something you only realize when that stuff starts happening in your life, you know. And I feel like the subject or whatever is like grief. It's like a feeling of you're grieving. And it's not a grief of like, I'm just going to end up talking about it, right? Like, it's just, oh, hey, I'm not ready to talk about it. What am I going to do on the show? Like, and just say F it. Cause like the theme of the year is we don't give up. It's in regards to like relationships with parents and specifically my dad. Okay. I have talked about that, but, it just all around sucks, you know, like you have all this joy and happiness and excitement about what you're doing and your life and, you know, like the man you married and the home you bought. And, you know, when we have kids someday, like you want to share that obviously like with your parents and you want it to be normal and like healthy and happy and joyful. And like, not everyone, I think it's really real. Like not everyone has that. Not everyone has that like cookie cutter, you know, fairy tale setup with their family. Right. And, I certainly don't. And I feel like, yeah, it makes me a little gloomy because I'm like, your expectation as a kid of like, oh, someday when I get married and buy a home and have kids, like you think of like, Leave It to Beaver. You're like, oh, I'm going to be like June Cleaver and I'm going to invite my parents over and they're going to sit down at the table and it's going to be like happy snappy. And they're like burping my baby. I don't know. Like you kind of have this expectation. And then I think what you learn through living life and like actually like you're living your own story is that it's not probably going to end up like that. And that's okay. But you do, because of those premeditated expectations, which expectations ruin everything. You do kind of have a little bit of like a grief session with yourself. And then you're like, no, like I am good. I do like my life. Like things aren't good. It always works out. Like things are going to work out. Things are going to be fine. But, that little department, the parental relationship department it's a motherfucker. And I think a lot of people, like I said, can relate to that because I don't know. It just throws a wrench in stuff, like adulting stuff, growing up stuff. And I saw this quote and I'm like, damn, it's so real. It was like, your report card as a parent is your relationship to your adult child. Like, that's your report card. That's how you know if you did a good job. I read that. I was like, fuck, dude, too real. That's too on point and too real. And I'm like, oof. But hey, like, it's life. This is the thing you tell yourself, like, when you go through a lot of bullshit with like I said, I have a list. That's why I play this video for you. I was like, oh, I relate to that. I have a fucked up list. I keep persevering, keep going through it. But I don't want to do all this self-help, like, and introspective shit right now. I'm sorry. I'm not even talking about like what I want to talk about. But you just tell yourself, like, I'm normal. This is normal. So many people are in my situation too. I'm not alone. Like that's what you tell yourself, and that's what gets you through it. Okay, cool. We're going to move on to the Grammys. We're going to talk about, this is what we have left. The Grammys, specifically Kanye West and Bianca Censori. We're going to do my sourdough taste test. Should we do that now? And then kind of talk about the Justin Baldoni website. Do you guys I really don't fucking care at this point. Like, she's toast. Like, it's just so, because of the evidence that's come out and like the website and all the text messages, it is something, but it feels like a nothing burger. It's like, oh, this is so obvious what it is. Like, can we just call it? Like, stop. Like, hey, content creators, like podcasters, like, we can stop talking about it. Like, we're really milking this dry. And it's like, it's so obvious what's going on. The people that are super hardcore team Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, get your head checked. Like, sit down in a chair, reflect on who you are as a person. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we can't be doing that. If you see all the evidence, but I get it. Like, some people's ability to, I get a lot of comments on TikTok that like push back on my Justin Baldoni opinions, like positive opinions. And I think I understand why people are hardcore Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, like team that, because some people don't understand the personality type of Justin Baldoni. And like, if you've never been around it, or if you can't read through, if you take everything he says on face value, you might think he's a creep, weirdo, like sleazeball, but like he has and I talked about last week, like, it's the personality type. And if you can like pick up on that and understand that, you would see how genuine he is and how like good he is and like wholesome and kind and like supportive, like he has so many positive qualities. But I think it's like your ability to read that through the voicemail and like the text message exchanges and some of the past content of him, of like, you know, when he was younger, like it might make you, but anyways, I'm just sick of talking about it. I'm so sick of it. Like, what happened to Luigi Mangione? Like, Justin Baldoni, who? I want to talk about Luigi. Whatever happened to him? I guess his, it's like the media is clearly, we are all like on this United Healthcare CEO story for a while. Like, we were all like flies on shit, like obsessed with Luigi. And then I feel like the media is burying it a little bit because they want to like limit the support of Justin Baldoni. Like, cause it was getting like, okay, we're fangirling too hard for this man. People are way too in support of like CEO murder right now. We got to chill out on publicizing this. So, is that a word? Publicize? Why does that sound like it's not a word? So who knows? I guess like there's really nothing going on. Like his next trials this month. I saw something about the death penalty, like an update, but yeah, Luigi's behind bars. There was like a interview with an inmate that was in his cell block or like in the prison with him when he first got checked in, and they all like, I think the only thing I picked up on was he was in a turtle suit. I guess he was on, the turtle suit's what you wear when you might kill yourself. So, is that like not okay to say anymore? Like kill yourself? You have to say off yourself? Off. The word for like, how do you say that? Not you can, like you can say suicide. Like I get so confused. Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts and they're completely discombobulating every word that's like grape. You can't say like, you can't say, you got to say grape. Or you got to beep it. I don't know. I can't keep up. Like, there's a book called The Power of Words, I think. No. I think it's called like The Power of Words, and it really breaks down, like, this is something I'm highly interested in because I talk for a living. Like, this is what I do. I'm podcasting. I use my words. I'm a storyteller. I'm not really a bookworm like I want to be yet. We're working on that in 2025. I do want to read 50 books this year. That's highly ambitious for someone that usually reads like 4 a year. But it's so true how words have so much power over us, especially like when you see the last like 5, 6, I mean, it's been a while, all these like wokey dokey things that have been going on, and how like people are so offended by a word. Like a word has so much power over people. Like a singular word can derail someone's career, or like, I don't believe in cancel culture, and like I think that's all bullshit too, but like it's so crazy that the emotional response to words is so within us all. Like we all have, like, if someone calls you a cunt, like you're gonna clap back. Like you're not just gonna let someone call you a cunt. So like that, the word cunt has power over you. You don't hear, hey bitch, you're a cunt, hey whore, and feel good about yourself. It elicits like, or it creates a feeling of anger inside of you. But like you could choose, it's just like, my new phrase is like, your mood is not my responsibility. Or like, that's like a quote I just read somewhere. It's like you don't have to, you're in control. Like that's the thing. I feel like nobody has, not nobody, just in general, like Americans, like it's a whole, like America's gotten too soft, whatever. But like, we are so emotionally unstable as a country, and like people don't know how to fucking keep their poise and like their composure. Everyone they're so reactive. I blame the phones. Do I think the iPhone is an awesome piece of technology? I just hyped it up about my experience in the CVS pharmacy line. Like that thing would have saved my life if I was less disciplined, but I decided to be a stoic in that moment and basically stand there and meditate and listen to the elevator music and clock the paternity test on my right and the coughing children with influenza A on my left. Like, you know, so I blame the phones though for our reactivity, like our reactions that we have. Like it's so, like we're just like nap brained out, and it's just so dumb because words are just sounds at the end of the day. Am I a philosopher? Yes. Am I? That is so pick me to say. Like I'm so like, I like to think. I like to theorize. I like to deep think and conceptualize ideas about human behavior and psychology and books and words. Like fuck that, you know, like, but it's really crazy when you really think about it. Like words are just sounds. This is just a string of sounds you're listening to right now. Do you like the sound of my voice? I can change it.
Do you like the sound of my voice?
Do you like the sound of my voice now?
How about now?
Oh yeah, we're getting real creative here with these fucking sound effects. Okay, let's talk about the Grammys. So the Grammys were on Sunday. I only watched like an hour of it. We were at Corey's parents' house and we watched it with them for like a little bit. And I only remembered a couple things. Like a couple of things stood out to me from the Grammys this year. It's funny, like I'm definitely at that age where I'm like, I don't know who I'm looking at. Like, I don't know who this artist is. I don't know their name. I've never seen them before. I've never heard them before. And yet they're getting nominated for like 16 things. So for me, the 2 things I noticed, and I went down a rabbit hole. I actually went down both I ended up having to rabbit hole both of these people because I was like, what am I watching right now? The 2 things I noticed were Benson Boone. I noticed his performance, like his raw talent, like his amazing voice. Like I was like, oh my God, like obsessed. So like that was my first impression, or like first, obviously I've heard his song before. Like I don't even know the words. It's like, like that's the vibe of the song. You've all heard it. It's like everywhere, right? So like I was like, oh, that's him. So then I was like, holy shit, Benson Boone. That's what I got from the Grammys. And then I saw Chapel Roan accept her award, and she just in general scrambles my brain. She scrambles it. Like I do not understand. And again, I had to do a rabbit hole on both of them. I did the rabbit hole on Benson Boone. I went down like his American Idol journey, and I was like, holy shit. Like his audition was so amazing. I was like, oh my God. He was like playing the piano. He's like, yeah, I've only been singing for a year. He just has like that God-given gift of singing, like period. Like some people have it. And like, so yeah, I watched his audition. Then I watched like an interview on the radio. He's like, yeah, I quit American Idol because I didn't want to be associated with like, oh, this is the guy from American Idol. So anyways, and then I went down the rabbit hole of all the Harry Styles girls complaining about his outfit being too adjacent to like what Harry Styles wears on stage. And it was like copycat. So they didn't like that, but I like what he's doing with his hair. I like that it's like curly, and he's got this like, there's a vibe. There's like an old like 80s, I don't know, 70s, like rock star guy, singer guy that he reminds me of. And it's like on the tip of my tongue, but big fan of Benson Boone and his voice and his talent. Like he does like flips on stage. But anyways, Chapel Roan, confused. Just so confused. So not it for me, you know, like she's not for me. And I can acknowledge that. But I was like, what is going on? Like, I understand, like when Lady Gaga puts on the meat dress and does the wacky, artistic, crazy stuff on stage and like the crazy red carpet looks, like I see Lady Gaga, I see the outfits, I see how crazy it all is, and my brain is like, that is okay with me. Like it feels right, because my brain goes, that's like, it's Lady Gaga, like I revere her, like it's like something about my brain is accepting of that. But like Chapel Roan, I'm like, I see the clown makeup with the cone head, with it's like circusy, and I'm just like, it's a different kind of artistic thing. And I know she's an artist in the same way like a Lady Gaga's an artist, like with how they dress and express themselves. But I don't know her music. I don't know her vibe. All I know is she was complaining about the industry in her speech about like they got to do healthcare and they got to take care of their, they're these starving artists that don't have any money, yet they're working their asses off for these labels, and labels don't compensate them appropriately. So they need to have, so like rah, you know, like, I guess, I don't know how all that works, but I'm assuming they're not. I mean, dude, the cream always rises. You get to the top. When you get to the top, like you gotta pay to play. You gotta like suck it up and starve as an artist until you make, I don't know. Like it was kind of one of those speeches where I'm like, I roll, but like, you go, girl, you know? But then I was like, okay, what's her vibe? So then I went to her TikTok, and I was still like not able to, my brain is still scrambled. Like I'm still not able to comprehend the vibe. And I don't know if that makes for a good artist. Like again, with Lady Gaga, like I see her and everything's like cohesive in my brain. I'm like, you know who does a good job of this is Sabrina Carpenter. She's like little Bratz doll, Barbie doll, like, kind of like retro, like, I don't know, like she has like her aesthetic is very cohesive. Like I can understand her, and I don't really listen to her music, but like certain people have that but Chapel Roan, I am like so lost. So I don't know. It's like her thing. It's like the makeup and the crazy outfits and just like, I don't know. It's like drag, and it's like pop, but it's like camp and grunge. And like, I guess she won a Grammy. She's talented as, I don't know if that even means anything anymore, but like, I don't know. So like the Grammys were cool. I guess like Bianca Censori shocked the world. We got to talk about that. Shocked the world with that puss. So anything else on the Grammys here that I have? So let's talk about it, because so Kanye West and Bianca Censori showed up at the Grammys. The rumor was that they weren't invited, and they just like showed up and walked the carpet uninvited, and then that they got kicked out. But apparently they just showed up and walked the carpet and then dipped and then went to the after party, I think, because there are videos circulating of Bianca Censori popping that puss, clothed, mind you. She was popping that puss in the club and at the after party, dancing, smiling, singing Kanye West songs, like living her life. Like from those videos, my impression of Bianca Censori is I want to party with that bitch and my girl is good. Like all of these rumors that she is being controlled and Kanye is like her handler, and that, you know, she needs to like blink twice if she's okay. And like, you know, like what the hell is going on? She's being exploited here. Like all of those rumors, I understand how people are coming up with that but you have to understand who Bianca Censori is. And I don't think anyone does. Like, I don't think people understand. Is Corey calling me in the middle of this? Oh no. This is like a segment where I'm like, I gotta hit this hard. But he also has a really big life update to tell me right now that I know about. And I know how important this call is. So I gotta continue this in like 2 minutes. Okay, back to Bianca and who she is. Cause I feel like she's kind of a mystery, right? Bianca Censori is kind of a mystery. We see these paparazzi pictures of her walking around with Kanye, pretty much also naked, but like more the opacity of the sheer clothing she's wearing is higher than, is that a lower opacity? No, a higher opacity on the fabric than what she wore to the Grammys. So I am personally used to seeing Bianca Censori pretty naked out in these streets. Okay. So she does do this pretty regularly, and she's also 30. So she's a grown woman, and I'd like to think that this is her choice. I'd like to think that Bianca Censori is popping that puss all the time, naked in the streets as a choice, as a personal choice. She's embracing and probably enjoys being his muse. You know, I think it's the other way around. I think Bianca Censori is wearing the pants in the relationship, and I think she's the one bossing Kanye around. And I think she is like, it's 2025, power to the puss, free the nip, female power, women's rights. And she's like, I am gonna go naked, as close to naked as possible at all times. I'm gonna wear a pillow around my torso and no pants. I'm gonna wear like a parka that you can see everything through. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to like wrap my head around this. And do I think she's being controlled? I understand why people think that. Like, I get it. I feel like if you see what Kanye has done with Kim and dressing her, and then Julia Fox, remember when Julia Fox popped off with all these outfits with Kanye? Like, it's kind of his thing. So I guess it's easy for the brain to go, okay, well, he's doing the same thing with his wife, Bianca. But by the way, so back to her and who she is. She's Australian. Most people haven't heard Bianca Censori talk. She's an Australian woman. She's 30. I think I mentioned that before. And she looks great. Like, let's all be honest. Like, she's beautiful. And she's actually the head of architecture for Yeezy. She's an architect. So she's very smart. This woman is not a dumb bitch. And so I feel like we need to give her some more credit, and we need to stop worrying so much about her. I saw her in the club after at the Grammys after party, and I'm like, my girl is okay. She's doing fine. She's living her life. She looks like she's having fun. And I think she's doing it all for the plot, and she's down with it. You know, I think she's like here for the story, here for the spectacle. And she's like, yeah, fully in on it and fully fine with it. Even though the video of her taking off her jacket looked a little suspicious, it looked like she was telling him no. I don't know. Like, it's a lot. I get how people are taking this because we've seen naked bodies on TV before. Like, fucking, who got naked at the Super Bowl? Like, that was the last hit we saw, I think, publicly or on. But that was like live TV. Janet Jackson. I'm pretty sure that was live. Like that was more, in my opinion, that was more extreme than Bianca Censori. I have a lot of thoughts, by the way, on this. Like, there's so many things I would have done differently if I was Bianca and Kanye. Like, I don't even know where to start. All right, everyone's talking about Bianca Censori getting naked at, this is my golden retriever, Jimmy, by the way. Everyone's talking about Bianca Censori getting naked at the Grammys on the red carpet with Kanye West. Now, the take is this. Everyone's like, this feels illegal. This feels like she's being controlled. This woman clearly doesn't want this. And to that I say, I don't think it was illegal enough. Okay. Bianca Censori, in my opinion, was wearing, she wasn't naked enough. Okay. And also, I think there's a few things I would have changed about their entrance at the Grammys and what they did on the carpet. Okay. Number one, I think it was a shame that Kanye didn't whip his dick out too. Okay. I think it's time that Kanye West makes a statement with his body and gets naked alongside Bianca. Okay. So that would have been a vibe. Okay. Also, full bush would have been a vibe. Full bush, tampon string. No, I'm kidding. What else? I wish that their posing routine was more fun. It was way too tasteful, way too boring. It's like, bitch, you're naked. Pop that puss, start twerking. As a matter of fact, I wish both of them, like I said before, I wish both of them were naked side by side doing burpees. I wish one of them took a shit on the red carpet, and I wish the other one pulled a Grammy out of their ass. Like, that would be entertaining. That would actually shock the world. Now, overall, I think her outfit wasn't inappropriate enough. And I feel like, if anything, they need to switch it up. Kanye needs to start making a statement with his naked body. Bianca should have been the one clothed, and Kanye should have wore the sheer dress. So across the board, I don't think this was inappropriate enough. And I don't think Kanye really thought this through. Okay. We were really missing that bush. That would have been a vibe that would have healed America. If Bianca Censori walked on that red carpet full bush, everything in this country would be at peace. I feel like that was such an artistic miss on his part. And yeah, like in general, we live in a society. I need to stop. Sorry. I'm not going to stop. We're going to keep going. We live in this woke, crazy 2025 fucked up society. Like, push the limit, bitch. Take a shit on the red carpet. Like, nothing shocks us. You have to do that. You have to literally take, like, for us to be shocked, she was way too perfectly posed, way too calm. It's like, again, bitch, you're naked, start twerking, like, pop that puss. Like, it was way too calm. They needed to move their bodies more. Burpees would have been nice. Jumping, just anything. I needed to see like a titty slap, a twerk, an ass grab. I need to see a helicopter with Kanye's dick. He needed to be naked. That is the missing piece. She needed a bush, and he also needed to be naked. That is my take. Okay. I don't understand it. I never will. Nothing on this planet shocks me anymore. And I can't believe the public reaction to this situation is that, Kanye West is controlling and manipulating Bianca Censori. Okay. I believe, I'm going to stand by this, all jokes aside. I kind of think she loves it. I think she loves it. I think she likes causing a scene. I think she does. Like, the thoughts of like how Kanye is linger into my mind, and I think about like how I can understand why people see him being a controlling, manipulative demon, telling his wife what to do or else, you know, I can understand that perspective, but they're artists, or she's an architect, like, I don't know. So the Grammys were cool. I mean, she looked great. Like, can we just all, in conclusion, Bianca Censori's tits are amazing. You know, the body was right. The body was tea. I think, you know, not to bring up myself in this, but she was probably wearing a tampon. I am on my period, so I'm relating this to my period because, like, okay, this is what I want to say. There was public concern that Bianca Censori might have, like, been in the situation on that red carpet at the time when she dropped her fur coat, where she might have had a little leakage happening. Like, how, you know, she might have been producing a little snail trail on those invisible panties that she wasn't wearing. So, like, everyone was freaking out for Bianca. And to that, I want to say, I believe if I was in her position, I would have done a tampon. I would have done a tampon and I would have cut that string, just like I did on swim team in high school. Now, if you know, you know, like when you bend over on that starting block, your worst nightmare as a swimmer is a tampon string popping out of the side of your Speedo, okay? Because there's something, it's again, if you know, you know. If you did swim team, you know, it's like a you know. The girls that get it. Like, when you bend over on a starting block, you are full puss to the face of the person behind you. And you're doing like 50-50s, right? You're doing like sprints. You're at swim practice. Your coach is also behind you. And that's fucking weird because he's like 62. And so what you do or you shove it up the butt crack, or you take that tampon string, you pull it back to up the ass crack. But I was a cutter. I cut the tampon string. So I'm sure Bianca was rocking the tampon, cut the string, good to go. Did a little pre-swab maybe. I don't know what was going on with her cycle at that time, that she was on the red carpet at the Grammys, but that's what I personally would have done. Again, she wasn't naked enough for me. It's way too appropriate, and we all need to move on. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Grandma. Should we talk about Justin and Blake now? Do we care? I don't care. Oh, people are pissed off that Beyonce won Best Country Album? ? I think. And she was like shocked, right? Like she was sitting there like for 3 seconds, like not realizing that she just won, or like not paying attention. I think she was zoning out, like thinking about legal stuff. I don't know, like what's going on with her and her husband, but like, I don't know. I feel like she wasn't fully listening. And then she realized like, oh shit, I won. So yeah, that was, who gives a fuck? Oh, she won country album. Like, she's not a country artist. I don't care. Oh, we got to do the sourdough taste test. We'll do the sourdough taste test. We'll talk about my sourdough journey, and then we'll get into Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively drama and his website. And I'm literally going to do like 3 minutes on it because I don't give a fuck anymore. Like I'm so like, we've talked, it's done. It's clearly, we all know, we all see it for what it is now. Like, we don't need to keep theorizing and conceptualizing. Like, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Last week I talked about my sourdough journey and how I started the starter last week. And with that, I have to say that I fucked up my bread. I fucked up my first 2 loaves, and I need help. So hi, internet, if you're watching this and you make sourdough, please help me right now and let me know what I did wrong based on my 2 loaves of sourdough that I baked. I think it's called overproofing, but I'm not sure. Basically, we have, what shape? This is a calzone. Okay. This piece of sourdough that I cut, it's like a half a loaf. This is giving calzone. Okay. It's not giving loaf. So I'm going to do a live taste test though. This was the one I made last night. So we have the one I made last night and the one I made. And I do have my golden retriever on set here who's going to bake for this the entire time. And we are going to give him a little piece because I feel like our dog's gluten intolerant. I don't know. This first loaf was also giving calzone. So first loaf side by side. Thumbnail. No. These are my 2 loaves, and My sourdough starter, let's talk about the starter before we taste this, is I feel like it's alive. It's growing, it's bubbling, it's expanding. I'm feeding it. What I think, I don't know if I'm supposed to like, this is what I don't understand. Like, are you supposed to dump out some of the starter when you feed it? And is that stuff called discard? Are you supposed to do that every time you feed it? Because I just keep adding flour and water on top of whatever's there. So maybe that's it. My home is 67 degrees-ish, unless I turn the heat on. So maybe the temperature is too cool. I did find the proofing setting on my oven, and I did that with this loaf. So I think that, go over to YouTube or Spotify to watch this, by the way, if you're like, I want to see her eat bread on video. The Jacqueline Monroe show. So I don't have a knife. We're gonna, yeah. What am I asking? So I think what I'm struggling with is the bulk fermentation. So I do my flour. No, I do my starter, my water. I whisk that up. I add my flour. I get it to the shaggy dough stage. I let it sit for an hour. I come back and I do my stretch and folds. So I do my stretch and folds. I do it every 30 minutes, like I think it's 3 times, right? So I do that. And then at the third time, I let it sit and bulk ferment. This is for the sourdough community and the sourdough community only. Like, I am speaking Chinese right now. If you're an English language, if English language is your first language, like, it is as if I'm speaking Chinese. I realize that. Skip ahead like 5 minutes. So after I do my stretch and folds, I let it sit and bulk ferment. And during that process, I was home all day. I didn't overnight it and sleep and, whatever. So I was home all day. I was checking it. And like, this one was definitely like the structure of the dough is a lot better. The second one I made, but it's so dense. And I feel like with starter, do you have to like work it for a while? Like, I've only been making the starter for like a week now. So does it need more time so the dough rises up better and is more airy? I don't know. I feel like the proofing setting, I figured out I had a proofing setting about 3 hours into bulk fermentation. And I'm like this is not good. I'm like playing with the dough. Like, I'm not even getting, it tastes good. Like, I want to keep eating these, but I'm like a kid in a sandbox right now, just fucking around with this like Play-Doh. So yeah, it's a journey. That's why they call it the sourdough journey, right? But like, I consider myself a really good baker, and I'm honestly like, I didn't want to share that I can't really bake bread. Like, I was embarrassed, kind of like, not embarrassed. What did we say earlier? Like, only you can allow what did I say? Like, embarrassment is a choice. Like, don't be embarrassed. But, yeah, it's harder than it looks, or I feel like you have to like, I'm already eating it. I really want to eat it. You have to like know your home and the temperature and like the water and how things react to the environment. And like, it's very sciencey. So I'm still learning. Let me know. I think if it's underproofed, because my dough is kind of sticky when I checked for the bounce back test where you like press down to see if it slowly bounces back when it bulk ferments. And mine was like sticking to my finger. So live taste test of my sourdough. No, I have not eaten today because I'm on a GLP-1 medication that suppresses my appetite. I did take a spin class at 6 a.m. and immediately I had a Celsius before it, and then I drank an Alani for this podcast, and this is my first meal of the day. So listen to the chewing noises. Let it happen. I'm going to feed my golden retriever now. Sit. Good boy. Okay. This is disgusting. I hate myself. So putting this away. Damn, this is actually good as fuck. Like, hold on. I'm a pig. Give me bread, and I am a pig. I used to think I had a gluten intolerance, but I just had an eating disorder. Funny how that works, you know? Like, I eat bread now and I'm like chilling. I eat pasta, I'm chilling. I eat so much gluten now and I'm fine. So, yeah, it's kind of amazing how the mind works. I feel like you can manifest. Oh my God. I feel like you can manifest a gluten intolerance by thinking that you have it. Because society or the fitness bros or whatever, what are they called? The holistic bros tell you not to eat gluten. Bake your own bread. Message of the day. Make sourdough. Cool. All right. So I just realized what time it is. And I think it's actually more close to wrap time than it is Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively time. Like, we got to wrap it up. Call it. I think I am. Okay. This is what I want to say. Like, Blake Lively's text messages on Justin Baldoni's website aggressively ignited my fight or flight. As someone who has pathological demand avoidance, who thinks she has that, who isn't for sure, like, I think I have pathological demand avoidance. Her paragraph text messages to Justin Baldoni, I don't know how he did it. He clearly doesn't have pathological demand avoidance, but like, she is a lot. Like, those texts are so lengthy. It's like, write a blog. She needs to write a blog. Blake Lively needs to, like, I don't know, like, just she'll go away and she'll come back and everything will be dandy and like we'll all forget. I feel like, will we though? Because people don't fuck with sexual harassment claims that are false, or like people don't, or like, you know, like no one comes. It's hard to come back from that, from the community of, like, especially community of women, like female fans. Like, that's so nobody. Well, okay, sexual harassment is like a caress on the back, you know, in the workplace by your boss, your male boss. Like, it's not domestic violence, like, you know, or it's not like sexual abuse. It's not like she said he assaulted her sexually. Like, that's, I'm just saying on the scale of like what's worse, or like, it's all bad. Like, to claim that he harassed her and then it's clearly like not the case. That's, you just look like a dumb bitch. So like, and I'm trying to think, like, are there any new theories or any new concepts or ideas that I've come up with about this all? I just feel like Blake Lively is the opposite of me. Okay, now here's what I mean. Like, I am hyper aware of myself and how I am and my intricacies and my mannerisms and my personality and the way I come across, and I'm like highly introspective, and I kind of always have a temperature gauge on that, and I work on it, and it's because I don't know, it's just a natural it's like a personal curiosity. You're born into this world in a body, you're a baby, right? You're like, wah, 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 you coming out of your mom's puss, and then I'm like, this is such a raunchy, tacky, gross episode. I keep using slang terms that I do not. Okay. You're born into this world in a body. You have a brain, a soul. You're a conscious living thing, and you have a life experience. You walk through this world. And so now that I'm an adult, I think I'm drawn to psychology, and I'm highly introspective, and I like to self-assess a lot and like think about it, because I have experienced a lot of people in my life that don't do that, and that had a negative impact on me and my relationship with them. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I mitigate that for the relationship, like, and eliminate that happening in my relationships and the people I interact with? And I think my solution was like, okay, self-assess, be highly introspective, course correct your behavior, like, know yourself really well, right? And so my point is this, like, Blake Lively clearly is oblivious to how she comes across. There's just too much evidence of that. Like, she lives in an alternate reality. Like she doesn't understand like her behavior is not okay. And it's like cringe as fuck. Like nobody, and I think it's just the nature of being in Hollywood and everyone's, you know, kissing each other's ass and schmoozing. And it's like, you know, about everything. And no one's like being real with her. And she lives in a bubble clearly or something. Cause like, this is not, her behavior isn't normal. It's not okay. And it's like, it's sad. Like it's a tool thing. Like she just doesn't have the tools to, I figured that out for myself, right? Like the whole, like be introspective, like be curious about your own behavior. Like that, like I just kind of like fell in my lap, or I was kind of like forced to be this way or to heal and like understand other people better. So I don't think she's had, this is an opportunity though with this Justin Baldoni lawsuit situation, like for her to do that, in my opinion. Like this would be a good time for her to like self-assess, regroup. Because the best advice I have, and I think I really learned this in my 20s, is that when someone criticizes or critiques your behavior, and it's negative about you, like take it into consideration because there's probably some truth in it. And then have the discipline to crucify your ego and acknowledge and accept and admit to yourself those harsh truths that people said about you. Like, you don't have to take all of it and like, you don't have to, like, there's always a piece, right? That's true. There's always a piece. And so with Blake Lively, it's like, if so many people are saying this one thing, like address it. Like, that's okay. Like, we're all trying to like do better, right? And like grow and like evolve as humans. Like, not all of us, like those are the best people though. Like the best people you meet work on themselves. They talk about these things. They're like into growing as a person, and it doesn't shut them down, doesn't turn them off. And in my case, like one of the biggest epiphanies, and I've said this literally a million times on the show. If you're a regular listener, you know how many times I've said this, like that, my biggest epiphany was like admitting stuff to myself that makes me feel disgusting about myself is like freedom. It's freedom. Like you literally like live, your life is so amazing. Like barf out everything. Don't hide from it. I hid from it for so long. Like you got to say it. You got to address it. Blake Lively needs to be like, my looks like shit. I need to smooth it out. I need to tame these flyaways. Like she needs to admit that to herself. And she needs to admit that her style sucks. And that it's not okay to wear two pairs of pants on top of each other. It's not okay. Lily Bloom wouldn't have fucking done that. Dumb bitch. It's all love though. I want good for all people. I want people to better themselves and but like this whole situation, I'm like, people are so stupid. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are just, you're fucking stupid. You know, like, huh? You're playing with the wrong, like, I think they underestimated Justin Baldoni. I still believe like something happened, like something had to have happened. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But like, I just don't care about his website. In conclusion, we're not going to read the website. It basically breaks down like every text, every claim, everything. Like it's so thorough and, yeah. So I think that's the show. Let's call it. We talked about, spin class, the dermatologist, hair extensions, plane crashes, intrusive thoughts, Travis Barker, Bianca Censori being naked at the Grammys, not being naked enough at the Grammys. We tested my sourdough. We did not do January faves. Remember that little thing I said I might do? We talked about CBS, marriage, cute things Corey does. Yeah, there's a lot here. I think that was a rounded out good episode, right? Please hit that. No, should I just do it now? Fuck it. Okay, that's it. So, hi. Okay, that's the show. Let's plug it up. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Overcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please hit that subscribe button and review the show 5 stars while you're there. Let's all be honest with ourselves. Let's actually I'm not just being, this isn't a shtick. This was a 5-star episode. So leave a review 5 stars on the Apple Podcast or Spotify app. Helps me out, helps people find the show. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Jacqueline Monroe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm over on YouTube on video, The Jacqueline Monroe Show on YouTube. And if you want to support the show for $5 a month, patreon.com/TJMS, patreon.com/TJMS. It's $5 a month. Go sign up now. Thank you. This was great. Hope you're go Chiefs, right? Super Bowl weekend coming up. We're going to get turned at the bar with the boys, drinking beers, and it's going to be great. If you don't know that reference, you don't listen to my podcast regularly. My favorite thing to do. I love football season. I'm going to be sad. I hate when the Super Bowl happens because I'm like, okay, now football's over. And then I really just don't care about basketball. It's like not, but Luke is going to the Lakers. Now we have something new to watch. LeBron's going to be getting the ball from Luka and vice versa. I don't care. I just feel like that post-Super Bowl slump really happens where it's like, oh, there's no more football on the weekends. College is done. So anyways, love you. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
I'll do what it takes. I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit. I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me.